perhaps it'll be you that we're talking about in the not very distant future. Thank you, Julia. Let's bring in now Rob Salmon. He's a tennis coach and podcast host of My Tennis Journey. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Well, I mean, what she seems to have is everything. An incredible talent, an amazing resilience, an ability just to smile through it. And the way that after the victory, she sat there singing along with Sweet Caroline and just looking at the crowds in the sort of lovely way that she does is the whole package, isn't it?
You know, you're talking about the characteristics of a superhero, aren't you? And you know, if you think about the adventure that Emma's been on from, you know, just over 70 days ago, she's an A-level student. You know, she plays her first professional tournament. She goes on to Wimbledon and does so incredibly well. But, you know, she has the issue with the breathing and has to pull out of that tournament. She gets her head down. She goes to America. She works hard. And then she goes into the US Open. And boy, do we get the Hollywood ending. She's just got everything. And
on that breathing problem that obviously kind of crippled her at Wimbledon, and you would just not believe that she'd had that issue so recently. What will she have been told, and what will she have had to do in herself to overcome a fear of that happening again?
I think it just shows that, like, you know, she's human. You know, she's human, and didn't she come back incredibly well to go onto that stage with all that pressure? And she handled herself the vast majority of time at Wimbledon incredibly well. And she's now moved on, and she got her head down. No doubt she's worked with her coaching team, who just seem incredible. And to do what she did, you know, to finish it with an ace last night, what a fairy tale of New York it was.
I don't recall seeing a match finished in that way many times. And it is just unbelievable to keep reminding ourselves she's 18.
Yeah.
To have achieved this now, I mean, obviously, you know, there are many tennis titles that she's going to want to have, but it's hard to imagine that there can be another feat that will be quite as extraordinary as this one for her.
You know, a couple of things on it. I think last night, you know, we've talked, and I heard you just talking about inspiring the next generation. My children, a lot of the children that I coach at tennis stayed up to watch that match. Now, I remember when I was young, watching Torvill and Dean. It's my first sporting memory, and it's stayed with me forever. So forever, the sporting memory for a lot of young people will be seeing Emma Raducanu do what she did last night. And isn't that amazing? I think in terms of, like, the next chapter, she's had one Hollywood movie. I think so many sequels can disappoint. Emma Raducanu's sequels are not going to disappoint. They're going to be incredible. She's got, you know, she's got many more titles in her because she's absolutely the real deal. And she's a fantastic role model. She's a real deal with a wonderful smile, with a wonderful warmth. Just incredible for British tennis, incredible for world tennis.
And that, the memory that you're talking about and the impact that has, I mean, we've all seen sports people play under, you know, it's enormous pressure and they don't always look like they're enjoying it. But when you see someone enjoying it and doing so well, that also sends a message that it's okay to relax into it. And actually, that's probably part of the key as well.
I think it's so important, you know, to go onto a tennis court and compete in a singles match is almost gladiatorial. But what you learn from doing it is incredible life lessons. You know, if you can have challenges and come back, then we're not all going to be tennis stars. But if you can go onto that court and perform, then when you go to the workplace, things won't always go your way, but you'll be able to bounce back. You'll be able to present. You'll be able to be resilient. You know, tennis teaches you so many skills, and the opportunity we have now is to get more people playing sport. If you look at the young people data of how many are getting 60 minutes physical activity a day on average, it's actually gone down a little bit. But the LTA have a wonderful program for primary schools, which is about getting a school a voucher, a £250 voucher to spend on equipment or coaching. Now, we have the most unbelievable role model in Emma Raducanu. And if there's any teachers in the UK watching this, search for LTA youth schools, get that voucher, get that program going, because tennis is a brilliant sport for teaching you life lessons, and you never know, there might be another Emma out there.
Thank you so much. It's great to talk to you, Rob Salmon. Now, in other news.